terms of just like the size and scope of things, how much money and grant funds are actually flowing through Alberta Innovates on a, I don't know, annual basis, or how do you guys tend to look at it?
Yeah, we receive about $250 million a year from the provincial government. Our ministry, we report to the Ministry of Technology and Innovation. So
Hmm.
Minister Nate Glubish is our minister. Um, Again, but we serve the whole of government of Alberta in a way because we work in multiple sectors. So Dr. John Zhao, my colleague in Clean Tech, works with the Energy Ministry. I work with the Health Ministry at Alberta Health. But I also, again, our home is in the Ministry of Technology and Innovation. So we have that. We have also been able to extend through additional funding from the federal government. So we've been able to leverage different programs. So, for example, we were able to bring in about over the last 8 years, $36 million from the Canadian Institutes of Health Research for the Alberta Spore Support Unit, right? So that's the strategy for patient-oriented research. So that's again an extension of our dollars beyond the money we receive from the government of Alberta. And we have lots of examples of that. I think it's about a 60-40 split, I'll say, in terms of the additional dollars we've been able to leverage with the $250 million we take in.
And how big's the team? You know, when you're dealing with that amount of money, how many people does it take to actually like manage and vet all the companies and the projects that are ongoing?
We have two wholly owned subsidiaries, so they're in Alberta Innovate. So that's part of the 600 full-time equivalents, and they're the bulk of the full-time equivalents. On my team, I have 22 full-time equivalents to manage the budget we have. I have about a $48 million a year budget as part of the 250 we receive from government. So the other groups have similar sort of size FTE accomplishment in terms of what they do, but we not only provide money and funding, as I often say, we're more than our money. We provide services as well. So we provide a lot of enablement in our platforms to different communities. So I've already mentioned, Jordan, the strategy for patient-oriented research has embedded in it a data platform, which has provided over 2,000 requests for data services in Alberta Health Services, and be able to provide that to the researchers and innovators to help them get access to data, as an example. So there's lots of activity that we have that we achieve results through others. So we have our direct staff who work with their clients in small and medium-sized enterprises, innovators, entrepreneurs, and then we have our sort of platform programs that we run services through that enable those entrepreneurs and innovators to be successful.
And then I don't know if you can speak a little bit about to your own internal mandate. Like, what are those KPIs that the Alberta government would be holding you and the team to? Is it jobs created? Is it import revenue? What are like those main things that you guys are trying to achieve? Is it lives saved? Is it, how do you actually sort that out and make those decisions?
Yeah, we work through what I term two sides of the same coin. So we have an economic diversification mandate for our team. So that involves working with small and medium-sized enterprises, innovators, and entrepreneurs to help them be successful, to grow their businesses, to create revenue, and to actually hire people to create jobs. That's one of the areas. We have tech scorecard as one of our key measuring sticks to evaluate that side of the business. We're a bit further. My team is a bit further upstream, so we're sort of the pre-angel, pre-venture capital side of the discover, develop, and use continuum in that regard. But then also we have we're trying to improve, generate patient-centered health outcomes that can benefit society and benefit patients. So we're always trying to achieve improved patient outcomes, improved health system performance. We want to have patients that experience the technologies in a positive way, and we also want to be sure we're not providers are able to use the technology where it's not a burden to them. So we're always looking for provider satisfaction as well. And we want to do all those four things with an equity lens to ensure that we're bringing along vulnerable populations and no one's left behind. So we have that dual sort of focus on my team around economic development and diversification, as well as health system performance, health system outcomes. So we're always tracking those types of metrics. The health system performance one, health outcome ones are a bit distal in the sense that they come downstream. Again, we're sort of upstream in the discover, develop, and use trajectory. So we're always trying to ensure that we have line of sight to those downstream outcome metrics. And so, but the function itself, Jordan, of tracking impact is one of the core competencies of Alberta Innovates. We have great strength in that area. We run the International School of Impact Assessment. We teach the courses at that school. Catherine Graham is a world expert in this space, and she's been able to disseminate her passion for impact across the entire continuum. So we work in that space.
And then how do you choose, which areas of focus? I mean, there's like a whole ton of different grants online at any given time, all with different mandates. Like when it comes to making a decision on those like patient outcomes, who actually makes those calls? Is that internal at Alberta Innovates? Does that come from the government of like, okay, wait times is a big problem versus cancer diagnostics versus cancer treatments versus any other number of things?
Yeah, we're always working with our clients to assess their needs, and our clients are in the health system. We have, for example, Jordan, we partner with Alberta Health Services on the Partnership for Research, Innovation, and Health Systems program, PRIUS. We funded about 52 projects in that space to the tune of about $49 million over the last 8 years. So and in that sense, we work through the projects with PRIUS are derived from the clients, and the clients in the case of PRIUS are the strategic clinical networks who actually are at the coalface, and they're large networks of people who work in a particular area like cancer, like the emergency room, like diabetes, the Dawn network. So there's various SCNs who derive the needs. They establish the protocols. They send the proposals in to us. We look at the proposals. We go through a 3-step process of assessing. We use external peer review, Jordan. So we tend to all of our grants get externally reviewed or reviewed by independent individuals. So we always have sort of a third-party opinion on whether the value, whether indeed what's being promised can be achieved. And we're always assessing the proposed value against that projection and using the international experts to help support it. So it's it's a robust system of checks and balances as we go forward. As I often say, Jordan, one of my sayings is that peer review is the worst way to make decisions, except for all the other ways to make funding investment decisions. So it's not perfect, peer review. We do work hard in that space to make it as best it can be. I would just also, not all of our programs go through peer review. Some of them they all go through review. And so we have internal experts that work at proposals as well to ensure there's value for money. So, and then it all goes through a different set of decision-making mechanisms around funding to ensure there's a separation of the scientific rigor of the proposal versus the funding availability we have within Alberta Innovates. And all those checks and balances get audited by the Auditor General of Alberta. So we've had clean audits ever since I've been with the organization, and we also have had clean financial audits as well. So it's all very above board in terms of achieving that value.
When it comes to giving out a grant, how many eyeballs actually hit the paper in terms of reviewing them? I'm assuming it depends on the size of the project and whether it's like 10 grand versus several $1 million. What does that review process actually look like?
Yeah, there's actually, I hadn't thought, great question. I don't know how many eyeballs, and it's not paper now. We do everything pretty well digitally. So we look at, it's all on the screen. So you do most of the reviews online. There's obviously, every grant would have at least 2 reviewers of it. Some of those reviewers are external. Sometimes we have more. It depends on what's being requested in terms of the areas of expertise. And then there's the entire machinery inside Alberta Innovates. The grants administration team works with that. Finance works with the financial aspects. The marketing communications team work on the announceable activities in this space. So a lot of eyeballs go on I don't know how many eyeballs that is, but there's a lot of people involved in that value chain to ensure that the applicants are getting the 4-season service in terms of a good review. Not everyone, again, we turn down more applications than we fund. That's been the case. I've been in the business now for 21 years of giving out grants, and there's always more demand and need than there is funding available. So you always have to make forced decisions in that space. But I think we do a really good job of that here. So.
Does it ever culminate in, internal conflict over who to actually choose for the grants, or is there ever times where it's like unclear on who the best project actually belongs to?
No, that's why we use committees. We use people that are external to assess, right? So there are times when there's some passion, I guess I'll say, in terms of different funding opportunities, but we try to minimize that through process. So a strong process can help mitigate a lot of those concerns. We want to make sure there's no bias in what people are funding, right? So we're always trying to do that, and we do. I think that we do a very good job of that here. So I'm very proud of the way we deal with conflicts, myself included. I have to sign a declaration every year that I'm not conflicted with any of the applicants who are applying. We have to go through checks and balances within our own corporate structure. As a VP, we do reporting to the government in that respect, in terms of, I think, the board, to the CEO, to the executives, right down to the staff. We have to review our policies every year. We have a check and balance in that regard. So there's lots of checks and balances, and ensuring that nothing untoward is happening, no biases are creeping into our decision making. Our decision making is above board. That all said, Jordan, I've been in this business for a long time, for 22 years and 21 years. Those that are successful think our process is the best process ever derived. Those that are unsuccessful think it wasn't the greatest process ever derived. That is a truism that always happens. So we're always in the space of telling people they were unsuccessful for their applications, and we try to do that as nice as possible. We also do it in a way that gives positive feedback to the applicants who were unsuccessful, so that they can improve their application and come into the next time. And the other thing I think that's maybe not a new thing, but one that I'm very proud of in Alberta Innovates is there is no wrong door here. So sometimes if you're unsuccessful over a particular competition, we can move you up and down the value chain from discover, develop, and use of your innovation to the right place. So there is no wrong door. We can get you to the right place for the right resource at the right time, so that you can either succeed quicker or you can fail faster. So we can then move on and use the taxpayer dollars for better value for money.
Very cool. No, I actually recently had the honor of participating in the Canadian Medical Association and their $10 million healthcare unburdened grant program as part of the review panel. So I have a newfound appreciation for the process and the amount of work that actually goes into reviewing just huge volumes of grants coming in. It's so difficult too, especially when there's so many different high quality and just of completely different scope and nature projects that you're trying to sift through.
Yeah, there's always great quality and there's always high quality, especially in Alberta. There's a lot of innovative energy, and there's been a lot of a surge in terms of that innovative capacity in Alberta. So, we also provide a concierge service too. So again, there's no wrong door at Alberta Innovates, but we can also get you to other funding opportunities federally. So there's lots of programs we're aware of that may meet the innovators' needs or meet the small and medium-sized enterprises' needs. So again, we're here to, with our funding programs, to decide, but we'll also refer people on to other agencies if they're better, or other partners in the ecosystem who can help you, right? So we're always trying to make sure we create that rising tide in Alberta of research and innovation.
Yeah, exactly. It's sort of the relationships and the networking that form along the way. Because I know Alberta Innovates has definitely been helpful for us at Cherry Health, and shout out to Mike, our TDA. He's been fantastic so far.
Yes. Oh, Mike's great. Yeah, Mike's a great guy. Yeah, and the TDAs are great too. We have about 22 technology development advisors in our organization. So that's a great example, Jordan, of the regional innovation networks. Funneling innovators and entrepreneurs towards value. They send clients to us. We send clients to them. It depends what stage people are at on their innovation journey. But again, we cover the entire waterfront of discover, develop, and use of that innovation and technology. So that's why we are Alberta's research and innovation engine. That's why we have that ability to go end to end and get you in the right place at the right time for the right reasons.
Tell me a bit about some of the successes you guys have had. I'm Dr. Jordan Valrath, and you've been watching Cherry Live, brought to you by Cherry Health. Please like and subscribe to see more clips like this, or check us out at www.cherry.health, Canada's medical network.